It's probably high time for me to get my annual recertification examination for KSP done, so we're going to take the Kerbal X, go to the moon, come back once my game finishes loading all these mods. I did around this time last year, and I don't really play the game as much now, despite some of the updates to it recently being pretty cool. And I have CCAN, so I have lots and lots of mods to plug in, which it's doing right now. Yeah, not a whole lot. I've seen people in like 5 digits worth of patches, so that's pretty lightweight comparatively. But I have clouds. It'll be a nice, pretty experience. So current version 1.22. So let's just go ahead and do something in my tubes save. I shouldn't have anything drastic that will prevent me from playing KSP stock. So we'll take the Kerbal X, absolutely stock craft. We'll throw that up on the launch pad. And I've noticed that they've already changed it. They have altered, they put a heat shield on it. So, we need to get going here. So we're going to go full throttle. 10, 9, 8, go! And the staging on this thing's still kind of wonky. We'll hill over just a little bit. And I think we'll limit our acceleration just a little bit there. I want to keep it a little bit under I want to keep it under 2 G's acceleration force, is what I want to do. So I won't be doing a lot of talking on this because I'm going to be concentrating on what it is that I'm going to be doing here. So let's just aim prograde and let it kind of auto steer itself. Okay, let's look to see how our trajectory is going. A little bit busy here with the atmosphere and stuff being in a way, but it's not too bad. Alright, can't open my chute. It's too, we're going too fast for that now, but whatever. The descent is going to make or break what it is I'm going to be trying to do here. Our inclination to respect to moon is not bad. When we get to about 75,000 meters at apoapsis, we will kill our engines. And it might be pretty much right where my sending node is supposed to be. That's not too bad though, it's pretty much dead on where I want it to be. I'll call it good there. So they've modified the design a little bit. They added an antenna. They still only have the 2 solar panels, which should barely be enough to keep up with everything. We can go ahead and turn those all off. They don't do anything anymore. Alright, I don't have to do them individually. Sweet. So I need to pick up about 800 meters per second in order to pull this off. But what happens if I say, let's just go for it right away? I might have to miss it. I'll have to go around and do it. So how much do I need to pick up just to circularize? About 800 or so. Okay, so let's just go ahead and... That's a bit much. I want to keep my apoapsis time pretty much constant when I hit the engines at full power. So let's try 18 seconds. No, I'm sneaking away from it here, so I'll wait a little bit more. Let's try 12 seconds. Still pulling away a little bit, but not as much as before. I can actually just dial that back some. So I don't know if recent changes to the game have made the Kerbal X still a viable spacecraft for what I'm trying to do here. And when it starts really running away from me, we'll go ahead and kill it. So we go like that. Adequate. Alright. Kill SAS. And I think we'll have to do our moon burn here. Whoa. Bit much there. Okay, so we have to do it back over here somewhere. Looks like I can get a pretty good encounter for not a lot of cost. So we do focus view, and then I can adjust this maneuver to use pretty much very little amount of fuel. Yeah, 853 is not bad. We'll turn towards it. Get ourselves ready for the maneuver, and I still have a little bit of fuel left in this tank. Not much. It's something that means this burn estimated time is totally wrong because I have to use my lander to finish it, but it's something. And that we're dialed in there, we can just zip ourselves around and enjoy the nighttime of Kerbin. It looks pretty cool. So when we get to about 1:30, we will blow through our first stage. Weird shadow cascade effect there. So 1:30 I said. Okay, that'll have to do. Well, dang, son. How much of that I got left to do? Not a whole lot. I didn't think that I would have that much of that tank in that first stage. Okay, let's hit it now. Alright, so we'll wait to 9 seconds and then we'll hit it. I'm very surprised that I was able to get that much out of that first stage. Okay, now I need to get way slow down here. We'll sneak into it. Alright, so now we can focus on view and see this here in a little more detail. We get pretty close to the ground. There, that should be good. If I really want more precision, which I do actually, we can go like that. And now I can, oops. Oh, I forgot I needed to have the nav ball up. Nav ball wants to keep disappearing on me when you do that. So I turn prograde, and we'll sneak into this, and we'll get to 10,000 meters. We turn that way up again. That sets us up for an ideal capture around the moon. And we can just decelerate right into landing. I'll show you where I'm going to land here. So we will end up coming around here, and it should be right past the crater. Except, yeah, because we're going to be over there. So we're not going to hit our periapsis at this spot over the ground. It'll be shifted over some. So, but we'll see all that once we get there. So we'll zip around. Okay, we were in Moon's SOI. Yeah, see, it's all rotated around. Well, actually, yeah, it rotated the other way, so now it's past this lower crater, I forgot. And we're still pretty low. Which we can illustrate by going like this. And we'll do retrograde. And we'll slew ourselves around so we're facing pretty much up like what you'd expect. Go ahead and put the gear out. Notice I still have plenty of fuel. I used very little of it to get out here. So what you see is what you get. And that looks like a good spot to do a full power burn. Actually, I could have done a little bit sooner. But now we're in a closed orbit. And I don't like suicide burns, so I'm not going to do one. I already transitioned to surface mode, which is cool. So land right about there. So we're going to come in low and fast, and then we're going to do a deceleration burn within like, I don't know, 10-15 seconds of landing. And we should be okay. And we already see our shadow. Sweet. We'll speed this up here, because I don't have all day. Recertification flights should not take more than an hour. Okay. It's looking pretty craggy here, so let's see if we can sit down in a flat spot in one of these craters or something. I still remember when the moon was really, really scary looking and stuff. As in, not scary looking. What am I talking about? I remember when it was a lot more boring. Oh, we're gonna lose track of Kerbin here. Alright, so because I suck at suicide burns, this is my attempt at doing a suicide burn. Got some glowing engine stuff here. This is going to use a lot of the fuel. If I was actually okay at doing suicide burns, I would have an easier time at doing this. I don't need full thrust. But I should have plenty to get back into orbit and then back home. Fairly flat, but I think we're going to rotate it, so... I'm trying to think which way the ground's gonna... Oh yeah, that's definitely not flat. But there we go. We are on the ground, and we're gonna have our scientist get out. Boink. Good job, Bob. Plant a flag. Is it going to be facing the right way for me? Not really. So the D-magic stuff. F-flight. Okay. We'll take an EV report, and we'll take a surface sample because why not? And even though I got a ladder, I'm not going to use it. Grab. Here we go. Alright. Now, we need to get home. So what we're going to end up doing is getting off the ground and immediately going to the east. So towards 90 on the nav ball. Which I cannot... Oh hey, I can do that. Well, that's cool. I have enough capsule torque to do that. Sweet. So let's do this, and then let's go ahead and do that, and we'll turn hard over, put the gears up. Okay, how's it looking now? 6,000. We can go a little higher. Let's do 10. Alright. Fuel status. I'm already going appreciable fraction of orbital velocity, so make sure I don't hit the ground again. I have roughly a little bit more than 1/8 of a tank left. I should have enough delta V for the not even 100 meters per second needed to make orbit. And then I think I need like 200 and change in order to get home. Yeah, I don't even need 100, I need 85 to make orbit. So let's mock that up because we got a bit of time. We got 2 minutes to sit here. Okay, so I do that, and then when I get around here, I'll add another maneuver, and this will get us home. Unfortunately, it's not going to show us how much that maneuver costs, but the intent of that maneuver is to basically plummet us right towards Kerbin. And we can adjust that and trim it, so yep, that, pretty much. So that's my 2 maneuvers I'm going to do, basically 180 degrees apart from the orbit. But I can kill that maneuver. And I can kill, see that's about 270. So I should have plenty to do this. Let's speed up. I don't need to actually plot this maneuver, it's just manually do it. It's pretty simple. Point in this direction, Jeb, and do a burn for a little bit of time. And this will get you home. Okay, there you go. Perfect. Alright, now I can plot that for real. And I'm aiming for a periapsis of more than that, because I have a heat shield, but I don't feel like testing it out too much. A little more. That should be sufficient. So we'll aim towards that. And as you can see, I have what, 108 units of oxidizer, and I have 103 now. Estimated burn time of 10 seconds. If you understand how much the Poodle uses per second in terms of units, you can tell how much fuel you have left in your tank. I think it uses close to 6 units per second of oxidizer. So I have more than 10 seconds worth of burn time in order to get me home. So I should be okay. It's really dark out here. So stock capsule, I want to say there is a mod that gives an Alcor-like interior to the Mark 1-2 pod, but I don't have it right now. I kind of wish the nav ball would not disappear every time you get out of map view. I think that's recent. It used to, you'd only have to bring it up once and it would always be there the next time you went to map view, but it's not how it works now for some reason. So if someone can tell me if there's a setting that does that, that'd be great. Oh, it finally went in orbit mode, huh? Okay. So we don't need to burn long. We need to burn like 5 seconds before, 5 seconds after. And we can just aim at prograde at this point. This is pretty much the same thing. Go, go, go. Oh, it uses 8. Well, I'm glad I wasn't totally wrong. Plenty. Let's try that. So I have about 2.5 seconds of absolute full power that I can use if I needed it. But that's not a lot of delta V. My intention is when I get to Kerbal periapsis, I will be retrograde already. I will burp the last of that fuel out of the service module. I will then jettison it and use the heat shield to do the rest of the work. That's the intention. So let's get to it. We gotta get home. We gotta get out of this lower altitude so we can time warp some more. We'll not time warp ourselves into the atmosphere because that's really double plus ungood. Okay, now that we're here, let's do retrograde. Right before we hit the atmosphere interface. Good job, Jeb. You're awesome like that. And now we will wait. And hope we don't die. Now, whenever I do this, I always mess up trying to get back to KSC proper. There are people who are more expert at me than this, and will manage not only to use this vessel to do the mission, but they will land pretty much right on top of the VAB. I am not one of those people. Already got some reheating effects because we're coming in pretty hot. Looks like my tank's overheating, so guess what we're going to do? Burn that mess now. Shed some speed. Alright, and now I don't even need to hold prograde because the heat shield's going to do all the work. Assuming the heat shield will survive. Now I could have stayed on the service module for the last possible second, which would have slowed me down some, but you can see I'm slowing down faster than the service module. So let's look at our ablator rate. Almost 2. Okay, so I see that the ablator usage rate is decreasing. It was 2.59, now it's 2.54, and decreasing, which means we are slowing down enough that the ablator's not being used as much as it was. I'm not sure why they don't give you a full ablator. I'll have to play around the VAB to see if reducing your ablator amount reduces its mass. I'm kind of curious if that's actually a thing. I don't know if I'm going to get a water landing out of this. I might end up over here by the coastline. Oh, but the crater, sweet. 2.3. Okay. We're fine. So barring any sort of weird, crazy, oh my gosh, I totally derped this up kind of error, like hitting my parachute too early. That would totally suck. Which is why my hands are nowhere near the keyboard right now. And my kids are not around to go ahead and troll me like Sky does with Scott Manley. I should be okay at this point. I don't even have an overheat warning now. So I think I passed my recert. I actually might end up... Oh, no. Well, it's fairly flat-ish. The rest of my service module still zinging away. Wow, it's about to overheat. Still within physics range, so I might see like all of a sudden like a bunch of gray little bits fly off of there as something decides to die. Okay, this will be a little bit of concern that I might end up in the mountains. That would be scary. That's strange though, the service module has survived that long. Okay, so the real mountains are over here. We are this way. We're ascending. What? Oh, it's like we were gonna actually escape atmosphere again. I was like, no, that can't be right. I don't want to do that. This is still an atmosphere. Oh, that's surreal. I'm going up again. Now, if you didn't know, you can alter your trajectory of your pod by slowing it around and stuff. The air hitting the capsule will actually affect its trajectory somewhat. This works in real life as well, because the game is based off real life. Alright, so it looks like we're going to come down over here somewhere, maybe. They were able to alter their landing trajectory for the Apollo missions based on how they oriented the capsule. It's not flying, it's falling with style, but I thought for sure I was going to slow down enough and get a water landing, but that's okay. We can go for desert. I don't get deserts very often. I'll go ahead and speed this up though. I don't have all day. This is going to get exit physics range here in a bit. So let's check up on it. Wow, really? It survived all that. I should have kept it on there. Our ablator usage is... I don't have an ablator anymore. Well, that's nice. I used up my ablator. Well, let's look at the heat map. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that, because I hear turn on a heat map, I'll mess up my OBS broadcaster. I have my OBS Studio set up to do F10, F11 for everything. I don't want to derp that up. But we're slowing down pretty good, so I don't have to worry about it too badly. I don't have an overheat warning or coloration on my capsule, so we should be okay. So even though the ablator is technically used up, it's still doing something. Okay. Alright. And now I can get rid of that. Really? I don't want you on here. I want you gone. It's like, nope, I'm staying put. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. That would have been utterly horrible if that had broke my capsule, now that I'm thinking about it. That would have been really, really bad. Alright, we took a whole bunch of G's there. How many? 14 point. We almost pegged out the G meter. So maybe I could have waited on that, perhaps, a bit. And 10 meters per second is quite the drop for us to hit. Boom! We're landed. Alright, Bob. The mod I have also allows me to get rid of the shadow's not perfect. Yay, he's here. Take a picture. Alrighty then, so that was that. Oh yeah, I gotta get him back in there. I recovered just him, and everyone else is just kind of like whatever, right? Left there to rot. So I guess that was a Soyuz type landing where they land instead of splashdown. Anyway, hey, I got lots of ribbons. Sweet. Wow, Bob got the most. Sweet. Final Frontier. Yep. Okay then, that was that. Thank you for watching my annual research mission on KSP. I think I still have enough skills to play the game properly. I just have other things on my plate right now, so I don't get to have a lot of time to play. And personal issues and life and work and other things get in the way. But you know how it is as an actual trying to function as an adult and doing the adulting thing. That's what happens. So anyway, thanks for watching, and you will have a good day.